Hey yo, I am Jolt, and here is a quarter. And here is my 30-day challenge. If you're like me and have been an artist on the internet, you've probably seen someone's 30-day challenge and thought, wow, that looks fun, I should do that. Liked the post and kept scrolling. Listen, 30 days is a lot to commit to, and I'm obviously so busy. But then I remembered that I had one of these old dollhouse books from ages ago that I wanted to keep because I thought it could be fun to make tiny drawings. Then you awake one night in a cold sweat. The answer has come to you. I can do them both. So yeah, that's what I did. I figured it'd be a good way to challenge myself as an artist, and oh yeah, was it. I only had one of these tiny little booklets, and I didn't have a specific 30-day challenge in mind. So I had to start figuring out what exactly I was doing. So we started with this piece of paper. This is just a normal piece of computer paper that I printed on some little boxes, roughly the same size as our little booklet, so that I could practice and try things out. So on here, you can see I pretty much sketched out almost everything we were gonna do, because I had no idea what the plan was. It pretty much all started with me just trying to figure out what colors I wanted to use, and do I have pens that are thin enough? And then it came down to, well, what do I do for a 30-day challenge? So I started scanning through many 30-day OC challenges and decided I was going to use the main character of my webcomic, Io. From there, I started scanning through to find prompts. So I started picking prompts that seemed like they'd be interesting to do at a small scale. Things that really get my gears turning, you feel me? So I would just try little prompts, and I would be like, okay, well, can I make that work in this size? That's what all these cubes are for, is for me to test and experiment and try things, try my colors, make sure everything works on normal paper. Now let's move into the actual drawings themselves. Obviously my hands are enormous compared to this thing. So this is my micro OC challenge. So this was a big challenge through and through. Very first thing I did was I just drew the character. Day one should be simple, right? You should just draw the character and figure out what they're going to look like. So that's exactly what I did. Then we're going to keep going relatively simple. We're going to do emotions. So we have her laughing. Got her angry. She boils when she's mad because she's made of water. Crying. She can't wipe away her tears because, water can't wipe away water. Then we get into, I want to draw her as a little kid. I bled over into this page a bit. I wasn't sure if I wanted to keep doing that. I ended up, I think, mostly sticking away from it, but this was a little experiment. Again, this entire thing is just me trying to figure out how I want this to work, because the very first few are for me to get a hang on how this works. So they're very simple prompts. This is, if she was a human, and there's no color on this one because, well, she has white hair, white skin, and this is a white fur on her hood. So there's no color in that. Technically it is colored. Then we had to do a species swap. So I went ahead and I did that. I made her a Naga, or a Snursen if you will, a snake person. This one was really fun because I have another character in that comic. She hasn't shown up yet. And I figured, that'd be really fun to draw a Snursen version of Io. So that went ahead and did that. We did a gender swap. Pretty simple stuff. Again, we're still getting used to things, but now we're getting into a little bit more experimental. So evil. I didn't really know what to do for this one. This one I kind of went for it. I was like, well, what if we make it like slanty eyes and it's a lot more like straight instead of round and bouncy? And I think it turned out okay. This is probably, might be my favorite of the whole bunch. So the prompt is that she's trapped. And I thought, what better way to trap a person made of water than in a jar? So she's here in a jar. And I think this one turned out super cute. I actually really love this drawing, like an unreasonably large amount. And I was starting to get into the flow of things. I was starting to get a feel. So this one was to do them in somebody else's style. So I chose a manga style, a specific mangaka, by the way. See if you can guess who it is. Should be, I hope, very obvious. Otherwise, I didn't do a very good job. We're starting to get into the territory where we gotta sell. So this is one I thought would be a super fun prompt to try and sell the idea that she is gigantic on a space smaller than my thumbnail. And I think I did a pretty good job. She looks massive. She's huge. Even though she is absolutely tiny right here. I think I did a great job there. And then as a ghost, I was playing around with maybe coloring the background since, ghosts are pure white or sometimes transparent. So I thought that would be a really fun idea. Here she is in formal wear, so like a nice dress and her hair is put up. Very fun. Now we started getting to something. So I put this one here, the Maid outfit, because I thought it would be very interesting to try and do something as detailed as a Maid costume on such a small scale. And it really, really was difficult to try and get like all the shapes right and all of this to really read at this kind of scale. Because it reads like a Maid outfit, and I am so happy that it did. And then I tried to do it again on the cross-dressing. So I had her wear like a little pinstripe suit. So here she is in her PJs, pajamas. I decided to give her a kigurumi. And then, you know, short hair, so she's got a little bob. Then we've got, okay, well, a completely different hairstyle. So I gave her the, hi, I'm a part of your backstory, I'm your mom hairstyle. That is very typical in anime and manga. High fashion was another one I thought would be pretty interesting to do at this small of scale. Then we've got a simple little swimsuit. I was experimenting with other colors. And then we had to do her in cosplay as well. That was a fun one. Because I thought cosplay would be a very good one for this type of a challenge. Given the fact you have to sell that it is two separate characters in the same very small image. If she was a punk, like, you know, changing her style, so punk aesthetic. And then if she was wearing glasses, she kind of turned out like, I don't remember what that character is called, but I'll probably show her on screen. So this is probably my least favorite of the bunch, but I think it's still all right. Then we get into some of the really fun stuff. So the prompt is drunk. Now, Io doesn't eat or drink. She's made of water, and she's simply an elemental. But she can be made of beer. So I decided to be like, okay, we'll see if I can try and make it look like she's made of beer. And I think I did pretty all right. And so she would obviously still behave as drunk, because one of the characteristics is whatever she's made of can kind of influence a bit of her personality. Which leads into the last 5 prompts. So the last 5 prompts are not actually direct prompts. You have to do 5 things unique to your character. So I went with, well, we just showed her made of beer, why don't we keep that train up? So I did, well, what if she was made of metal? Now this one, unfortunately, I tried an interesting shading thing because I've never tried to shade metal in, like on a traditional piece of art. So I kind of know what I'm doing, but I only had like a silver pen and black. So I left white bits and then I, used black on the edges. It turned out okay. The design was more interesting because I was trying to use this is actually, her hair shape is actually the shape of the atoms of the type of metal I was thinking of. So I got a little bit too cute, but the shading ended up not turning out something I was happy with, but you get those along the way. And then this is one of my favorites, milk. So if she was made of milk, she's got little cow horns, and she's just adorable. So these 5 things that she's made of, so unique to her, gasoline. I didn't really have an amazing color for gasoline, so I just kind of winged it. And she has an unlit cigarette. This one's a little bit less strong than the others, but it would probably just need more time in the oven. Then we have acid. This one was a bit of a reference. I tried to make her a little bit more cuboid with her hair as a bit of a reference to the gelatinous cube, because I think those things are super cool, little slimes. And of course, radioactive green, because she's an acid. Classic stuff. If she was made of honey, oh, it looks like I had a little bit of bleed through on the opposite page. That's my bad. And then so if she was made of honey, giving it a little bee, thought that'd be really cute. And then finally, the very last drawing I ever did. Guess what's a liquid? She's made of lava. And you see, that's what the little bleed through is. Looks like I caught it's a little bit on the opposite side. It's one of the reasons why I stopped trying to try out stuff on the other side. But there she is. She is made of lava for our final one. And I love this look. I think it is absolutely wonderful. And then there, final page is just empty. It had bleed through. And then that is the entire tiny little book. Did I actually learn anything? Did I really challenge myself as an artist? Well, honestly, I learned more than I thought I would. Using restrictions helps you get better at finding solutions. The biggest thing for me, though, that I wasn't expecting was my line efficiency. Well, the more lines I put down, the more messy the image becomes, so I had to find a way to convey something with the least number of lines possible, so that it not become as cluttered. So I had to find ways to convey something with the minimum or smallest number of lines possible, which I think is really going to help me immensely in the future. So if you've been on the fence about doing an art challenge, or you've got a bunch of artwork on the back burner, give it a shot. I'm sure you'll learn more than you expect. Hey, so thanks for watching. I left my specific prompts that I used for this challenge in the description. If you feel like now is when you want to try a 30-day challenge, please give it a shot and tag me on your results. I'd love to see them. I'm at Jolt pretty much everywhere. Much love. Keep your days wonderful.